Greetings and salutations to you all. Tis I, Just Henry. Excuse me. Tis I, Just Henry, the original, the one, the only, the slightly OCD. But it's all good because we on the umpteenth view, and this is the good cousin.
Wise in the flesh. The people, the hip hop nerd. If you haven't heard, what's the word? What's the word?
And you better jump on the bird because the bird ain't no nerd.
What's the word? The video, y'all seen the thumbnail. As my cousin would say, y'all hopefully seen the thumbnail. Y'all hopefully get this is what we're talking about. If you had to describe what we're talking about today with a word, what's the word?
We've done accountability already, right?
Yes.
So I can't go there. So let's go.
Hit it with it again. Show the life. Accountability may have changed, grown, and manifested into a new realm of context than when you first said it. So
What's another word for just being blatantly stubborn? Like
arrogant, hubris.
I'll say the hubris. I think this is a very, very, very good example of hubris, and also the black privilege plight that kind of seeps into certain conversations where we black folk always have this mentality of either we or our children can do no wrong. They've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong. It's your fault, whoever you are, to whom it may concern.
Be strong, son. We got this.
He's stressed, and I am too. Like, I told him I probably will start crying. Like, my son is, I don't know what to do for him.
This coming June is when Tiffany France thought her son would receive his diploma.
And I'm just trying to fight. He like, Mom, what was all this for? What did I do this for? Like, don't he get a chance?
What was all this for?
Do he get a chance?
But after 4 years of high school, this mom just learned her 17-year-old has to start over. He's been moved back to 9th grade.
Why would he do 3 more years in school? He didn't fail, the school failed him.
What?
Number one, blame is the school.
The school failed at their job. They failed. That's the problem here. They failed.
She can't even look at the reporter, the interviewer, when she's saying that. She looking off to the left, looking down off to the left, left, down, left, down, and slapping her thighs the entire time. Sorry. Is that the black entitlement coming out a little bit there?
I don't know. Maybe.
You don't know?
I
can't call it yet?
I don't disagree that the school failed.
Let's hear it. Let's hear more.
Okay.
I beg you to hear more, my good sir.
Okay.
I get where you're going, but
we just went.
Don't listen to this lady too much. You listening to this lady a little more than you. Okay. Just let the rest go.
I don't agree with her, but we're gonna talk about why I think
then let's keep going.
Too. Okay.
I can dig it then. All right.
He failed. He didn't deserve that.
France's son attends Augusta Fells Savage Institute of Visual Arts in West Baltimore. His transcripts show in 4 years, he has passed just 3 classes.
In 4 years, he has passed, how many classes did it say?
3.
3. In 4 years. Let's keep going.
Earning 2.5 credits, which places him in 9th grade. But France says she didn't know that until February. She has 3 children and works 3 jobs.
Excuse me. You have 3 children, you say. All by yourself, you say. You have 3 jobs, you say. All by yourself, you say. But yet, you're saying that the school failed to notify you of your child's education in 4 years. Do you have anything to say yet? You want to keep going?
Let it play, because I'm praying that my answers are fulfilled. Let it play.
Outstanding.
She thought her oldest son was doing well because even though he failed most of his classes, he was being promoted.
Even though he was failing most of his classes, her understanding was he had to have been doing well because you keep passing him on to the next grade. Right?
So it seems.
So that didn't draw any questions from 9th grade. Why would you send my son to the 10th grade if he failed everything? Because I would check everybody in there. Because I'm gonna start with him, like, son, what's with all these grades?
Why would you start with him and clearly the teachers failed?
I hear where you're coming from.
That's what she said. That ain't where I'm coming from.
That's where she's saying.
I'm trying to figure out why you made the decision to address this grown man.
Mainly because when my son is 9, my daughter is 11. I told them the only job that they have is to go to school and get me good grades. Bring me good grades and good behavior, please.
So what job you think she gave her son?
Come home. Come home every day. I just at some point so that you could feed your siblings while I'm at this third job. So that you can care for my kids, your siblings, while I go work. Sound about right?
So it seems.
Sounds close.
Yeah, so it seems.
But nonetheless.
Let play, please.
Let's keep going.
His transcripts show he failed Spanish 1 and Algebra 1, but was promoted to Spanish 2 and Algebra 2. He also failed English 2, but was passed on to English 3.
I'm just assuming that if you are passing, that you have the proper things, to go to the next grade. And, the right grades, you have the right credits.
As we dig deeper into her son's records, we can see in his first 3 years at Augusta Fells, he failed 22 classes and was late or absent 272 times.
Let's see. Failed 22 classes and was late or absent 272 times. Let's keep going. Remember, what did we say? Hubris. Mm-hmm. This is hubris. Hubris is the key word. Let's keep going.
But in those 3 years, only one teacher requested a parent conference, which France says never happened. No one from the school told this mother her son was failing.
So how is it confirmed at least one person asked you to come in, but why didn't you go?
Excuses.
Why didn't you make it happen? What was said about this from this meeting? What was learned about your child at this meeting? Oh, you didn't go, but you brought it up. Let's keep going.
And not going to class.
Yeah.
France's son, in his 4 years at Augusta Fells, earned a grade point average of 0.13. He only passed 3 classes. But his transcripts show his class rank is 62 out of 120.
So,
that means
with a point,
everybody doing
1.8,
everybody going.
He is 60th out of 162nd out of 120 kids. So that means that how many more is that? Was that 40, 50, 60, 58? 58 other kids are worse off than him.
Everybody going down.
What's going on in this community?
Everybody going down.
Teachers and all going down.
Everybody's a conspiracy.
Everything is in disarray.
Going down.
Let's keep going.
This means nearly half of his classmates, 58 of them, have a GPA of 0.13.
Yikes.
Or lower.
He's a good kid. Like, he didn't deserve that. Where is the mentors? Where is the help?
Where's his mama?
Where's mama? Where's daddy?
For him, I hate that this is happening to my child.
It hurts your soul. I bet it does. Your son is a dummy.
And on top of that, he's your dependent for how much longer now?
Yeah. Life.
Life. All right, I'm playing.
In your opinion, did the school system fail this child?
Absolutely.
This city school administrator who works inside North Avenue asked not to be identified for fear of retaliation.
That school community failed this student.
If I may.
Oh, you may.
Yeah. Okay.
You definitely may.
So I gotta start this off by saying that she's right. She's right in the sense of the school failed him. Why? Because if you had caring teachers, ain't no way that youngster is gonna take Spanish 1 or Spanish 2 or Spanish. I don't know how that system works. I have personally read into Baltimore, Maryland schooling, and they get the most money in the nation, but their scores are the worst. I don't know how that happens. Now, when we talk about schooling and parenting, schooling should not supersede parenting.
Correct.
And it seems like to me that this young mother, not to say she don't care
Expected
about
it
her
to.
son, but she thinks that she can use working 3 jobs as an excuse to not raise your children.
Correct.
Right? School failed him, right? And that's why I want to become a teacher, to motivate these young folks to do things if they can't do it at home, because I haven't had that motivation
To be
at home.
greater, right?
Right. And she probably didn't know it. Her job is probably manual labor. Right? She probably don't know algebra. She probably don't know stuff, so he can't go home and ask her about the game or
I
ask her
hear you.
about these things. Right? So
I hear what you're saying.
the school should have stepped in and stopped it before trying to push him along like he was just gonna graduate. Now, the bigger fault is on hers. The biggest fault is on him. Because ain't no way in nowadays you not seeing the outcomes of not having an education.
No, you're right.
Or he probably live in a terrible neighborhood if his mom got to work 3 jobs. Things of that sort, right? You seeing what the lack of education does.
And the lack of discipline, the lack of a manly figure in the household, because ain't nobody saying nothing about the daddy right here. I'm gonna bring it up.
About the daddy,
I'm bringing it up.
The mama could potentially just not be a suitable partner, right?
Which by all means, I can understand the dissonance or the actual discrepancies between 2 adults. I can understand that. I can understand them being upset at each other. That's fine and well. But the issue is our society is too accustomed to being okay with everybody's mad at each other, so let's just part ways, and just because I don't like the way she does things and how she treating me, I'ma just leave my child to her and not even say nothing. Or on top of that, I'ma keep my child away from him because I don't like the way he deal with me and blase squaze. It goes both sides of that coin. So therefore, I think everybody needs to tighten the F up, stop being punks as adults, and get your emotions and your whatever woes out of the way and deal with the issue, which is your child needing to be reared and raised correctly with a balance. Don't have to have both parents living in the same house, but does have to have both parents in their lives. Sincerely.
I wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying, Kozo.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I'm more so thinking about it in the practical sense of what do you do now, right?
Oh, at this point, it's gonna be, we gotta basically, just like just buckling down and being able to take responsibility for your part and saying, you know what, I know what I have to do to get to this goal. And even though the motivation may have been whatever it was,
it is what it is, yes sir.
It was still motivation. It still propelled you to
sir.
the end, which is what you can look back and say, you know what, did all right.
Yeah, I did all right. I always put myself in other people's shoes. And try to flip the reverse.
As in, you putting yourself in the boy's shoes or the mom's shoes?
Right. So
in the boy's shoes.
You seeing the dude's shoes, the little dude's shoes.
In young man's shoes. Got you.
Like one of the biggest conversation we constantly have is at what point does a child become an adult? And I'm big on like when your mind develops and you become conscientious.
Okay.
Right? You notice in the video. She's touching. So we're gonna get through this little homie playing a video game, right?
Oh yeah, she babies him.
So
yeah, that's her buddy.
He thinks he don't need none of this stuff because his mama
gonna take care of me. Where am I going?
It's the school failed because the school systems, especially public schools, these teachers should be put in place to try to lead this younger generation into adulthood, right? If the school failed them and the parents failed them, you have a failing situation. This man is probably more likely to at best work at a McDonald's. I don't know. I ain't trying to knock on nobody hustle at McDonald's. I'm just saying he ain't gonna be. He not gonna know any better. right?
Go ahead. You want to say something? Go.
And then she has other kids, I'm assuming younger kids, right?
Probably.
Who gonna repeat the process. And now you're creating this black plight where this generational degradation is constantly happening
because it's not a real curse. It's just learned behavior. Keep going. Generational curse.
It's to go from the little girl talking about the importance of parenting and see this lack thereof an excuse that I work 3 jobs, so I ain't gotta do that. Like we said before.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that the school was acting out of fear? Do you think that they were passing the boy out of, I don't want to hear the little boy's mama or any backlash or any craziness?
I don't doubt it. I'm not gonna act like they ain't explosive mothers
because
that tweaking them for the wrong reasons. At all.
Because that would require some explanation to me. Is just like the blame is partially on them, as in like, how is a failing grade not punishable? Or I don't want to say like you could put him in detention, but like you're detained, like take him, hold him in the grade.
I did read something.
He didn't pass the grade.
They're not allowed to fail kids anymore. I did read something.
So we're allowed to lie to them until the end.
A teacher
and set them up for this tremendous
it was somewhere
bomb.
in the Midwest though. Like the teacher quit because she wasn't allowed to fail her students, and she felt like it's like she felt like doctors.
You're enabling them. You're enabling
you
bad.
Create like a drug. Your idea of a doctor is to help people, but if you're in a situation where you're not gonna help nobody, you quit. And I feel like she did that. She quit because she couldn't fail her children, her students, which means that
she was less effective.
So
she felt
the school felt this young dude because they didn't fail him. They didn't. Why are you taking Spanish 2 if you can't?
Could it be new
Spanish
administration coming in now? Like, there's so many questions that come up as far as the school system and that actual school itself that I really, really, really can't give them all the blame. But I can give them a good brunt of the blame. Mainly because they didn't take responsibility. Like they didn't. I wouldn't look at it if this was a business, right? Quality assurance was not upheld.
I like it.
OSHA, when I was in the Navy, OSHA will shut everything down. You can't even distill water. You can't boil water in your plant if you don't pass OSHA standards. A house being built, there's an inspector. Someone has to come and inspect and say, "Oh, that angle's off. That pipe is not going to be right for there. That fitting, no, you're going to cause water to seep into the house because of the way you did that, so on and so forth." All of these are quality controls. And if you're taking, just like the example that the cuz brought up, if you're taking the power of quality control away from teachers, then what are teachers doing? What are they there for? They're human recorders.
TikTok and speaking about transgenderism.
Oh, they're human projectors. That's it. They just write on the board. They put up little transparencies on the big screen. You remember transparencies? Remember those? Man, I'm telling my age. And it's just amazing that we are looking at the teacher for them to do more than their pay requires. It doesn't say teach my child to be a man.
It makes me wonder how much of the world, like we said, like my child should not be personal friends with the teachers. I don't care about none of that, right? You need to go learn the real thing. It makes me wonder how many parents disagree with that, because I'm pretty sure.
I think a lot of parents disagree with that, because there's a lot of parents that allow their children to have certain conversations with adults.
That's fair.
In our household, no.
One of them.
Stop. Whoa, excuse. These are adults talking. When an adult addresses you, that's when you can join this conversation. Otherwise, mind your childlike business. I'm sorry. I understand some people are, well, if they have something good to say, and no, they don't. They don't. Excuse me. They don't have the experience. They are not my peer group. Get into the other room, child. Go outside, child. Go do something. That's my favorite thing to say to a child. Go do something. Go do something. Constructive without getting in trouble, but go do something else is the rude term that would follow. But I try my best not to be rude to children. Their parents, that's a different story, especially if you're not taking onus for your child's wrongdoing.
It's so sad, man.
Tremendously sad, as well as should be. But this is a wonderful, for me, it's refreshing to have this
That's a good word too.
said out in the open, because I know for a fact I've met several women, single mothers, that have the mentality of, this is not my fault. This is not my child's fault. Keyword, she was saying, my child didn't deserve this.
That's a good word.
Kind of, sort of, he did.
He definitely deserved it.
He definitely deserves not being able to graduate high school.
Missed school days. And
He missed 272 days.
He saw he was in Spanish too when they got to speaking in past tense and preterites, and you don't understand all
The past participles, you don't even know.
Like, why would you sit there and go through that? Like, why? Why would you?
Why not even bring it up to your school counselor? Hey,
Somebody,
I'm in Spanish 2. I didn't pass Spanish 1. I do not know what's going on here. Why? Because guess what? You don't want to be embarrassed. You don't want somebody to look down on you that you're stupid. This is the umpteenth view. And I promise you, we are going to be better with every step, with every video. We are better than we were before we press play. Now that's real. All right? And until we meet again, please like, share, subscribe, and comment, because we want to hear from you. Anything else, cuz?
Be good.
Be good. Be good. Minus the hubris. And we out. Bid you adieu. Y'all be blessed.
Oh,